Gender equality is not just the right thing to do, but it is the smart thing to do for the health and success of our organizations, be they for-profit, not-for-profit. And it is the smart and right thing to do, not just for our organizations, but for our nations, and indeed for the whole world.
Seeing is believing. You need to see the change in order to believe in the change.
To have women at the top of the management of the country organization is absolutely critical to ensure effectiveness and success.
We have now data that shows that companies that are inclusive are actually more profitable.
This is the beginning of a research agenda which is very deep and very rich and will help support the cause of closing the gender gap because it provides such powerful evidence for the value of doing so.
I think people would be tremendously surprised to understand what the gender gap is. In fact, a group of MBA students were asked just the other day, how many women do they think are in the Fortune 500 CEO level positions? And it's 3% is the answer. And they said 20 to 25%.
Women are almost as healthy and almost as educated as men, if not more in some countries, and yet you're not seeing that same participation in terms of the economy.
You know, crisis is a terrible thing to waste. So for society to care more about these issues, there's never a better time than now. We've come through a horrendous global recession. The world is recovering at different rates, but wherever you exist in the world, you need and you know that this world has to operate differently going forward.
So we have now the very paradoxical and inefficient condition that we have a cadre of young women who are very well educated, but then are not using that education in the workforce.
What we do here at the Women in Public Policy program is we focus on closing gaps. We identify and teach and train on what are the key interventions that work, whether it's in business, whether it's in law, whether it's in politics, or whether it's in civil society. It's not that people don't want to close gaps. It's that people don't always know how to close the gaps and think that it's a problem too big to solve.